everyone, this is Amy at UWM, Up With Moms, and this is what I normally look like in the virtual world, and this is what I look like in the real world. And the reason I'm coming out of obscurity today is to tell you my healthcare story. I was 22 when I was diagnosed with cancer. 22. I was right out of college. I was unemployed and I had no health insurance. Fortunately, I was young enough to be able to hop on my father's Cobra for my father's health insurance, which was very good coverage from a major corporation. And I was very fortunate to be able to get that coverage at that time when I desperately needed it. But we paid a pretty penny for it. It was expensive. And I was fortunate that my father was able to cover those costs for me. And despite the fact that we had great coverage from a major corporation, my father had to spend a lot of time battling with that healthcare company, the health insurance company, over the cost of my care. He spent a lot of time haggling with them over what they were going to cover, what they weren't going to cover, what they were charging us, and why. And I remember him telling me at the time that it was like a full-time job that he was doing on top of his already existing full-time job. And even though my father went to battle with the health insurance companies and got everything that he could out of the health insurance company, we still ended up owing thousands of dollars. Because even with the best health insurance, when you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars or sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars in healthcare costs, you're still going to end up paying a percentage of that. And a percentage of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt is thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars in debt. So when we're talking about health care reform, I think we have to ask ourselves, if you were faced with a situation where you had to avail yourself of the healthcare system, would you be able to afford it? Would you be able to afford thousands of dollars or maybe even tens of thousands of dollars on top of your mortgage and all of your other bills that you're having to pay? If you think that this isn't going to happen to you, or this isn't an issue for you because you or your family members are healthy, I would say that you're taking a very big gamble and a very big risk. I was 22 when I was diagnosed, and I had a very good friend last week who was a healthy woman in her 40s, found herself in the neurological ICU with a brain hemorrhage. Not a situation she expected to find herself in. We never know when those situations are going to come up. We never know when we're going to be diagnosed with a catastrophic illness or with a medical emergency. And so we have to ask ourselves, if we had that situation, a catastrophic illness or a medical emergency, would you be able to afford it? And so we have to ask ourselves, can we afford not to reform our healthcare system so that we can afford the care that we need when we need it? Thanks for listening to my story.